Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, so let's get started. This is a bonus general message. These are the ones that I always start out with something real that actually happened, usually an anecdote pertaining to my dog somehow. And Aries decided to get the zoomies very publicly today, which is always kind of funny when other people witness his joy like that. But that was pretty cute. And the other people thought it was pretty funny because they had their own dogs and their dogs were looking like, why does he enjoy the grass so much? What is wrong with him? Anyway, so we'll keep that in mind. Maybe somebody's in a really good mood. Maybe somebody's, standing there listening to their own headphones and dancing to music that nobody else can hear. It's that kind of vibe. But we've got divine intervention. This says they're experiencing many tower moments in their life where it is helping them to gain clarity on this connection. Well, this is a different kind of interpretation on the zoomies. It would talk about huge amounts of energy. That much we could say would come across in this story, but not necessarily the best energy. If the divine intervention keeps like tasing someone basically to say, hey, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention, trying to get a message to you. Okay, you're still not listening. Here, let me make it louder. Here, let me take some stuff away. It feels like, at least that's the message on this card, is that someone is in none too delicate a manner. They are being buzzed by the universe to pay attention to something. With that in mind, I feel like we should probably get a sassy bold deck so that we can not mince words. See, how are you, honey? Hi, Karen. Hi, April Day. Wonderful to see you guys. Thank you so much for being here. All right, we got a Knight of Swords. This is happening fast for someone. And, I was saying it's like the universe keeps buzzing somebody with a certain amount of energy or a certain message. Well, definitely here because somebody's throwing a dart. We've got a Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Somebody could be having like money troubles all of a sudden. Seven of Swords. They are also being faced by, I feel like they're getting bamboozled. I feel like a character is being shown very strong messages that if you keep making this wrong choice, you know what's going to happen. All of a sudden, things are going to go belly up. They're going to have difficulties. They're going to lose money. They're going to have maybe business partners that aren't on the up and up. They're going to find out that someone they're dealing with, possibly a feminine, is quite a liar, pants on fire. Somebody could be taking them for a ride. I feel like the divine is trying so hard to show a character. Now, I don't know if it's masculine or feminine, and that's always irrelevant to me anyway, but I will use he and she so that we can keep a character straight if we can clearly see what, how they're being defined. Three of Swords. Oh my gosh. This character is like they're losing every day. It's like another thing collapses in their life and another thing collapses and another thing collapses because the universe is like, I asked you to listen, but you didn't. So maybe I can say it a little louder. Okay, you still didn't hear it. Okay, maybe I'll shout it from a bullhorn. Okay, maybe I'll give it a thunderclap like lightning, and thunder overhead. I just feel like whatever is collapsing in a person's life right now, it is creating huge stress and drama for this character, but there's a purpose for it. This isn't, it's not like punishment either. It's like, how else, when they say kids behave badly sometimes just because they want attention, that's what I feel like, only in this case, the universe is like, I want your attention. I'm going to misbehave if you won't pay attention to me. But it's for the benefit of this character who seems to be going through it right now. It's like suddenly their life is collapsing, burning down around their ears. Everything seems unstable. Everything feels like it's a mess. We got a King of Cups. You know what's interesting? Okay, now we'll refer to who this character is. This character is a King of Cups. They're our lead character who is having nothing but hurdles in their life. And you know what it's doing? It's stripping things away so they get down to just their raw emotions. Maybe they're losing money and a business opportunity. Maybe they lost an entire business, heaven forbid. Maybe they thought, someone was giving them all this great advice only to find out that person was a total shyster, encouraged them to like totally invest, knowing full well they'd lose all that investment. Whatever happened, all of a sudden that money's gone. All of a sudden that business contact is gone. Then it turns out whomever, I feel like this person was like in a den of like thieves and liars and you know, backstabbers. And they're finding this out all like in the same span of a couple days or something. It's like, wow, my business partner was a shyster. My whoever I chose maybe as a romantic partner is a shyster. And this is, I feel betrayed. I feel heartbroken, but they're finally feeling something real. I know it's not the nicest of emotions to feel, but if our character over here, if this king needed to have the money, the glam, the glitz, and people that are really toxic stripped out of their life, it is for their benefit. As hard as it is to find out that somebody is not trustworthy, I would argue that knowing that and being able to let go of that person or those people or those situations could certainly simplify life. I mean, I guess all I can say is I would rather know know if I'm dealing with a snake so I can quit dealing with them. You know, like that's what I would say is happening for this King of Cups. And I do think it's a better thing because although there's heartbreak, they are getting very real. They can actually feel something that's legit now. A lot of false stuff has been torn away from them suddenly. We got Two of Pentacles. This character, this king, may have to go to the bank, try to take out a loan. They may have to find creative ways. They may come in like kind of feeling like a joker, feeling like I can't believe that my life is in shambles right now. What do I even have left to my name? You know, what can I do to salvage my credit or salvage my situation? They may be talking to a financial institution, trying to come up with, what do I do now? What do I do? Where do I go from here? This king has big problems. However, here's the thing. Yes, everything has been swept away from them. Yes, everything has collapsed, but they're finally able to start rebuilding. They're finally able to start. And I know this we don't have a tower card here, but literally the word tower is written on this card because that's what it said, is somebody's experiencing many tower moments in their life where it's helped them to gain clarity on this connection. This is not necessarily about a connection from what we see so far. It's a whole shebang. It's a whole enchilada. It's everything in their life that was built on false premise, shady people, bad business deals. And at least now they're able to look at it and they're able to see, like, where was the rot and what has it cost me? But now how can I go about fixing something, working with, what do I have left to work with? We have Two of Wands. Yeah, this character feels like a pretty big clown. This king feels like a pretty big clown, but they are standing here with potential. Okay. They have choices to make, but they're going to have to work really, really hard. That's true, because we see this huge field and they're holding two different plants, wondering, what should I do? No matter what route they take, it's going to be baby steps. It's going to be rebuilding their credit, rebuilding their image, rebuilding their life, one little plant at a time. But the question is, with whatever maybe humble resources they still possess, how can they best rebuild their lives? We have a Five of Wands. They're thinking really heavily about this. We have the Hermit. I gotta say, this storyline could have a lot to do with a character who, they could be not just older now, but they may look a lot older. You notice how we have fully gray haired. This could be somebody that just the sheer stress of all of these losses, all of the false people that they put their energy into, have really drained them and prematurely aged them. The stress of trying to figure out how to rebuild, the stress of, like, oh my gosh, I feel like a clown. And now I have to, at maybe a more mature age, I actually have to rebuild as if I'm, like building my credit for the first time ever as like an 18-year-old. Yet maybe this character is technically, 40s, 50s, 60s, but they may right now be like, physically, they may have aged quite a lot in this storyline. And we have the Hermit here. Part of their question about what should I do. Oh, Carol, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. That is so generous. Thank you for that beautiful donation. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'll catch up with you guys at the end. But with this Hermit card, you notice how they're sitting here trying to pretend like I'm just going to focus on rebuilding my life. Yet, out of the corner of their eye, they're watching this lovers couple. This could really represent someone, could be a Virgo, by the way, but somebody who is like oh my gosh, I have so much to fix in my life. Which direction do I go? Do I just focus simply on rebuilding everything? But are their eyes being pulled towards spying on somebody? I mean, that's what this card is. Is there someone that they are spying on? Now let's go back to that first card and remember the message on it. It says that they are experiencing many tower moments in their life where it's helped them gain clarity about this connection. So it kind of, to me, is starting to look like this could be a character that basically they chose the wrong path, and the repercussions for choosing the wrong path, they didn't course correct. So the universe was like, well, you made your bed and now you're going to lay on it, and it's a pretty big mess. Let me show you just what you chose. Let me expedite you seeing who you really picked. You picked both fake friends instead of maybe a good connection, a lover's connection. You picked someone false. You picked somebody who lied, somebody who told you the things you wanted to hear, stoked your ego maybe with that Seven of Swords, somebody who was all dressed up in their, I don't know, this is like the Barbie world or something, it's pink and all blonde and, all of that. And it just kind of represents maybe something that comes across as a little bit sticky sweet, but maybe kind of superficial, or not all it's cracked up to be. It feels like if someone chose that, the universe said, let me show you the seedy underbelly of what you picked. There was something missing. And that is not to bash Barbie. I'm just saying there's something, kind of like plastic about this, what they were presented with. And it turns out, what was the real substance here. And they could have dealt with someone who looked beautiful, smelled good, all that stuff, but wasn't truthful underneath. Well, now that they're rebuilding their life, now that everything has kind of been shown for what it is and things are falling apart, they might be spying. So let's ask about that. Spying on something real and true, someone real and true, or maybe they just are kind of secretly wondering, can I find somebody real and true at this point? We have a Page of Swords in the reverse. This says they do not dare let anybody know that they're looking their way. Let me put it this way, if this King of Cups does have someone on their mind, they desperately don't want that person. Maybe once upon a time they had a true love. Maybe that's the connection that we were referring to with that very first card. If there is someone that they loved a lot, or they had a chance at true love and maybe they threw it away for more superficial things, if they are trying to peer in and check up on that person's life, it's a one-way street. They desperately don't want this person to see them like this, to see the gamble that they took and how much they've lost. You notice that their little jester outfit is shredded. They're kind of trying to cover themselves. They played a game and lost. They went, I don't know, we got a lot of gamble energy in this. I don't know if this person tried to align themselves with some kind of get rich quick scheme. I don't know if somebody wanted a lavish lifestyle, the big high roller lifestyle, lots of money, lots of elite places that they could walk in and out and everybody knows their name. They dress good. They, all of that kind of lifestyle. And they really thought for a little while if they aligned themselves with it. I feel like it must have been everything from a business partnership to a relationship that they could have that flashy lifestyle, only to discover they were the one who got hosed. It's almost like, I don't know if there was some little like a cabal where like a group of people all knew like, oh, this person's an easy mark. I'll grab them for their money this way. I'll introduce you to this person to date, and we're all kind of in on it that you're the fool that we're going to steal the money from. We're going to get you to invest. We're going to make you feel really special, like you live that high roller lifestyle. And then guess what? As soon as your bank account's empty, we'll be gone. Like that's what this looks like. I mean, it looks bad. This is not a pleasant little fictional story, but not all of the fictional stories are. There's always a reason for it though. And this said at the very beginning, as ugly as this may sound, that this person made some really superficial choices that led to really hollow outcomes, And as much as they are petrified and do not want someone real, maybe a love, maybe they think a lot about somebody that they should have chosen but didn't, they desperately don't want that person. Of all the people on earth, they don't want that person to see what's become of them, see the result of those gambles that they took, the shallow lifestyle that they chose over love. Well, I'm sorry, but this is a tough one. Ace of Wands and the Star. So they've got a plan that maybe they can put their life back together. Maybe they can revive things. Maybe they can piece this mess back together and heal it, and then they can still have a wish fulfillment, and maybe even they could come in at some point and have some grand offering and act like this was my plan all along. I've been preparing to like build my life into this thing, when really, remember when they were in the bank and possibly trying to say, okay, what do I have left in my bank account? What can I possibly do to salvage this kind of huge financial loss that I've experienced and everything else that I've lost? The very next card was this person in a clown suit holding those same two, like, I don't know if these are corn plants or tomato plants, honestly. I think it's corn plants. And they were standing there going, what should I do? Which way should I go? It almost seems like they're making a choice, and they're saying, what if I could play it off at some point like, this was my plan all along. I've been working towards simplifying my life instead of I lost all my money. I've been, really wanting to move toward like developing, a life that would be just more easygoing and blah, 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 live in not a flashy lifestyle. Well, no, the reality of it is you tried that and you got hosed, and you don't have any resources to live a fancy, expensive life. I feel like they're trying, because the Magician, especially on this card, they can be tricksters. We all know that there's not a photo of a pitcher of water that is then really going to have water fall out of it. We all know that it's an illusion. It's a sleight of hand. I feel like their attempt, if they're going to come forward and say this to someone, pretend like, hey, I know I've been gone for a while. And yeah, my life is, I was really working on just like decluttering my life, simplifying everything. Yeah, now I like to, not have a big bank account. I don't believe in that kind of material wealth or something like that. They might be trying to frame it this way, and it is coming out like that's a really weak trick. I'm so sorry. That's not very nice, because this is actually the Star card, but with the Magician on it. They're trying to say this was my wish fulfillment, but we have this element still of trickery associated with it, which is really unusual. Normally, the Magician card would be totally separate, and we would only have a Magician on it. The Star card does not normally look like this. It's an interesting imagery for this. I feel like they're going to try to pass off what has happened like it was their plan all along. Is that going to float with whomever they're saying this to? I don't think so. I don't think so. And I think it won't. I don't even know that they will float it. I think they're going to try to come up with, maybe they're trying to tell themselves this. Like, I could try to tell myself this is going to be okay. I could come forward to someone, maybe a true love option that I didn't go toward, but I could come toward them and I could try saying all of these things to them and see, does that sound like it would work? This clown looks pretty dejected here. And this is like in Three of Wands. This is like, if they think about this any length of time, I think they're going to realize no one will ever buy this, because it's kind of a crock. Like, that's not what I did. I didn't want to simplify my life. I wanted a life of fame, fortune, and like finery. And instead, by the way, that's not the word I was going to choose. The pirate in me just about slipped out there. I have quite the pirate's vocabulary sometimes. Yeah, see, Temperance. They thought that they would be really wealthy and splashy, and it didn't work out. Now, maybe, in all fairness, maybe they thought this. They could have thought, if I go down this road of investing with flashy, pompous, fake people, and I can get really wealthy, then I'll have so much to offer that I could come in and I could woo the person that I love with some big fat diamond ring. Maybe they didn't do this just because they wanted to be like, having their ego inflated. Maybe they did it because they thought that's the only way I'll ever be able to be certain that I can beat out any other contestant for this person's affection. The only thing is they aligned themselves with so many false people, and it still looked like they chose that over just building an honest relationship with someone that they cared about. And I think with the Temperance card, it's like everything is getting balanced in a very different way. They're realizing now maybe the road that they should have taken. They should have just been themselves. They shouldn't have chased down money and fame, and they should have just chosen the life that they really wanted to build with the person that they wanted to build with. Just be honest. Just be simple. So what? I can only give the person that I love some flowers. They maybe once upon a time that's what they brought in was flowers, but then they said, no, I want to be able to give this huge fat honkin', diamond ring, and I want to wear, super expensive $3,000 suits, or I don't know how much suits are. To me, that would be a very expensive suit. And I'll be this sexy salt and pepper haired, and I'll be this, man or woman of great consequence, and my, the object of my affection, the person that I love, will be so thrilled with how much I have to offer them. But that didn't really happen. They kind of chose to just chase the money, and whatever it took to chase that, they did it. I'm not saying that they went to some other relationship, but that could have happened. They could have, that little gnome that we saw here on that Seven of Swords makes it almost look like they thought they could use an underhanded way to get into a relationship with someone else who was using them. And it didn't work out that way. And if they were willing to do just about anything to try to get fame, fortune, money, supposedly so then they could give more to an individual they actually loved, still that's such a mixed up, twisted up way to show that you love somebody. I'm going to do you wrong to go get with somebody else, chase some big money, and then eventually I'll come back to you and I'll give you this big old diamond and it'll be all okay. Even if their motive was, I want to be able to give a lot to you, that they always say, do the means justify the end? No, they do not. In fact, the means by which they attempted to use to get to this end, it was all pretty rotten. It was all pretty, like, what I'm saying, like moldy, like a piece of fruit. It was rotten inside. It was their thought process on how to get to this big end goal. It was going to be shady. And sure enough, all the shady stuff just kind of collapsed. And that's what the divine was trying to tell them all along. Dude, this is shady. Or dudette, this is shady. Don't do it. Don't do it. Let it go. Don't take that route. But they did it anyway. So the divine was like, well, let me show you. Let me show you when you make bad choices. Or what do they say? When you win, or when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. That's kind of what this was. So at the end of all this, what did they learn here? I'm sorry, I know I'm being pretty abrupt in this one. I feel kind of like I should soften the way I'm talking, but I said I wanted to go with just a bold deck because all these messages have been bold. We have a 5 of Cups. We have an 8 of Cups. They are having to start over. I think that they're kind of sitting here really feeling what they've lost right now, because they lost their plan of great riches and wealth and stardom. They also lost the person that they maybe actually did want, something real, some genuine love, romance. And at this point, they're going to have to kind of start all over again. But what's weird is with the 8 of Cups, with them being single, it kind of looks to me like they're still going to fancy places and trying the same old. If they feel like they can't get a chance really with the person that they love, and so they just walk away and leave it behind, it kind of looks like, unfortunately, the thing that they don't really leave behind is that same old rotten method that they tried before. The Sun, the Knight of Pentacles. It looks like this person keeps choosing hollow, flashy glam, like for a little while they were feeling like exhausted. They were feeling like, this whole thing has aged me, and then I'm feeling like a clown, and then maybe I can pretend like this is my plan all along. I can go back to the person that I love. Crap, there's no way that they're going to believe that. No, I can't go back to them. Instead, okay, so let me see, what kind of a life do I still have available to me? Oh, hey, I know, I could rebrand my greatest hits, which is I can use that superficial charm that I was polishing up back when I was dealing with those superficial people, when I was trying to live the flashy, expensive lifestyle. I could, if I go out to nightclubs where there's not a lot of light, people won't notice that I'm maybe a little too old to be doing this because the lights are pretty forgiving and they hide a lot. I feel like we're talking about like someone who's going to embrace the life of an aging player, and those, the bright lights and the fun and the party atmosphere. And that's kind of going to be what they say. Well, this is pretty happy. I do enjoy this. I enjoy the party life, even if they barely have enough money to get into those parties, barely have enough money to get those drinks. It feels like this person is going to turn their attention to yet another superficial form of, how else can I gain attention? How else can I cling to my original plan of, I want the flashy life, I want the expensive life. And I'm so sorry that I don't have anything softer to say. Ozzy, thank you so much. That is so incredibly kind. Thank you. That is so generous. I appreciate it more than you know. We have a 2 of Cups, and we got the Hierophant sideways. This Hierophant is another very curious card, because normally the imagery here would make me think more of the Justice card, Libra, just because we see the judicial system. But remember the Hierophant, Taurus energy here. It can be any kind of like big bodies of authority, right? And in this case, they chose to show the judicial system. But more than that, we got somebody getting in some trouble. It almost seems as if this character is going to forever be hungry for this quest to find a 2 of Cups. But I keep thinking that this is like the higher authority is not supposed to be the judicial system. It really is like the universe, the higher self, the same divine intervention that tried so hard to tell him the lesson already by taking stuff away from them, kind of humbling them. But it's like they chose to be a repeat offender to the universe. And I think it almost says that the universe is saying, now who your person was. It was a person that you loved, but you still aren't going to pursue it. So you're still going to ignore it. So you're probably going to come back into my court again at some point, because you're going to be a repeat offender. Now, this is a repeat offender against like what they know to be true within themselves. If there is someone on this planet that they really have true emotion for, why are they continuously trying to take these weird routes of, I feel embarrassed, I feel sad, I didn't make good choices, it cost me the relationship that I wanted to have. So you know what I'll do? I'll prop myself up and make myself feel better by going out and partying. When they keep choosing these like almost like self-medicating behaviors instead of getting real with themselves and really trying to elevate and grow so that they can have a more mature relationship, it's kind of like the divine saying, well, I already kind of put you through your your court date and I thought you were going to learn, and then you were going to change your ways, but it looks like, nope, we'll probably see each other again in this karmic court again. I don't know why this person doesn't want to learn what's right there, smack dab in front of their face, but they just don't. And they have every right to do whatever they want. It's just that the universe is saying, then we'll see each other again when I'll probably humble you again. It's kind of like the universe is saying, you're going to keep losing because you're not choosing. This is the equivalent of saying somebody who wants to steal emotions from others instead of like build and grow a sincere relationship where trust and love and respect are actually earned. This is somebody who wants to rob it from something else and just have it. It's just like a robber wants to steal money instead of go get a job and earn it. It's the same thing. Like you're going to get caught at some point, and then you're going to have to pay that debt, because you're not going to get away with that. You can try it and you get away with it for a little while, but it'll catch up to you. And that's what this character is doing, but in the karmic sense, in the energetic sense. I'm sorry, this wasn't a very fun and uplifting one, but They have every opportunity to learn. Anybody can change their ways whenever they are done getting themselves into trouble. And that's the thing. Sometimes people don't reform their ways until they've really had to pay some consequences for their actions. And it just looks like this character is going to keep running from the thing that they already know that they should do, but they'll do anything but, like, just simply fly right. That's what it looks like. And that's unfortunate. You notice that this story wasn't about the other person, though. It wasn't about whomever they profess to love, probably because that person is being completely protected and buffered from them right now, because they didn't even show up in this. This was all about them and their journey, not the individual that they think about and that they want to be with, but they just keep destroying any attempt to come back to. It is what it is. Forgive me, guys. I try to be fair with my stories, and what I get is what I get. I try to read them good, bad, or ugly, because it's the only way I can be a fair fictional storyteller, because not all of them are going to be uplifting. But on the other hand, I think this is a kind of a good glimpse at, like, man, somebody is hard-headed about learning a lesson about what would be really in their own best interest. And that's kind of an interesting, thought-provoking message. So thank you guys for being here. If you do enjoy the channel, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It's the best way to support my free channel is with those free actions, and it does mean a lot to me because it actually helps my channel to grow, and then it means I can continue to do it. So thank you guys so much. Miss Hermit, wonderful to see you, honey. Set a fire in my soul. Great to see you. Carol, thank you, honey. This one wasn't that much fun, but thank you for being so gracious. Crystal Suzanne, how are you, hun? Hey, Assad, I haven't said hi to you in ages. How have you been? Faith, Action, Bravery, thank you, sweetheart. And thank you for all of the beautiful hashtags and everything that you add in. Thank you. That is so kind. Karen Bishop, thank you for, again, being so kind about a story that was a little bit heavy. Ozzy, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm honored you're here, and thank you for that beautiful gift. Carol, same thing. Thank you so much. The Lover's Conjure, how are you? Hey, Shan. You dance with your noise-canceling headphones all the time? That's awesome. That's awesome. Once upon a time, I was at a very small gym that was open 24 hours, and I was the only one there, so I thought. And I was doing the same thing, but the dance moves were more like a weird blend of some karate kicks and all kinds of, because I was exercising, and I looked up, and unbeknownst to me, there had been one gentleman there, and he was in like the sauna, and he thought he was the only one there, so he wasn't exactly perfectly clothed, and I was out there dancing like a weirdo, and we saw each other, we made eye contact, and we looked away, and nobody said a thing. We acted like that didn't happen. It was a silent agreement. I will pretend I didn't see you. You pretend you didn't see me. And so that's how we handled that. So yeah, we all have those moments, don't we? Joycey, thank you for being here. All the way from San Diego. Awesome. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Sarah. Bree Lee, how are you? Oh, what a cute butterfly. I love it. Thank you. You guys, good to see everybody. Eskar, hi. Good to see you, sweetie. Dwayne was in the house. Awesome. Hey, Sharon. Goddess of the Moon. Hello, hello. Catherine McKay. Catherine McKay, pretty. I like it. I like it. Mo Betta, how are you? Aries is sleeping, by the way. He's very sleepy now. I worked him pretty hard today. Hey, Wonder Tea. Signs and Sinks. Easterbeek. So good to see so many of you tonight. Roberta, hello, hello. No worries, hon. All right, you guys, I will see you guys in the next ones, because I've got a couple of other Zodiacs we'll put out tonight. And then, of course, I still have the 10 winners of the Make Monday Suck Less, that card pull. I'll post that video probably in the next hour and a half. I'm going to do some Zodiacs first, and then that one will come out. So watch in case you entered to win, or you still have a chance to enter to win, because I haven't picked those winners just yet. John Little, hey, hey. Good to see you guys. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.